In general, we call it as an ecocide because it is the destruction of the environment by human action. So in this case, specifically by the Israeli military, that is systematic, widespread, especially also catastrophic. So the destruction of the land, in this sense, is consistent with also other genocidal practices on the ground that we've seen in the past and we continuously see. As one is the mass devastation of Gaza's built environment, the systematic targeting of school, cultural and other institutions, but also the repeated attacks on food production, consumption, and specifically also more recently, the aid distribution. So that's why when we consider environmental damage, we need also to understand it alongside this broader pattern of violation, which together reveal this intentional strategy of making land and space unlivable. So crucially, intentionality in this definition is not required, but yet in Gaza, we do see evidence of intentional agricultural destruction, which is consistent with Israel's long-term practices, especially along all the orchards and the farmland on the eastern perimeter of Gaza. And for this reason, and in line also with legal initiatives worldwide that link ecocide and genocide, particularly also like on colonial contexts, we describe Gaza as a clear case of ecocide, which is ongoing as a deliberate act of destruction of an ecosystem. More than 3/4 of Gaza's farmland has been destroyed, with vegetation loss reaching the 90%, as I mentioned before. But this is not just devastated land. It is in general is like salinized soil, polluted groundwater, an ecosystem that is continuously poisoned by bombing, bulldozer, and toxic debris. So water infrastructure also has been shattered. It's like desalination plants, pipelines, sewage treatment facilities are non-functional, leading to also like seawater intrusion and daily discharges of untreated sewage into the environment. And this condition compound one another, rendering the land progressively more uninhabitable. So I would say that the human consequences are inseparable from the ecological ones. In this sense, also, as we saw more recently, like food production has collapsed, and with it also it's food security. Like we, in a recent investigation into aid distribution, we show how Israel has dismantled Gaza civilian aid network and replaced them with a military constructed system. And the system provides deliberately forcing people to walk long dangerous distance for aid and often drops food in this no-go. So farms have been destroyed, food warehouses and bakeries have been bombed through time, water is rendered undrinkable, hospital and school are flattened, aid deliveries is blocked and weaponized. So each of these would be devastating even alone, but together they form a continuum destruction. The outcome of this mass displacement, malnutrition, outbreaks of waterborne disease is a slow violence of ecological degradation that will persist long after the bombing and the current destruction is going to stop. So in this sense, the environmental and human consequences are not parallel, but extremely intertwined. And the systematic targeting of land, water, and infrastructure is an environmental crime that brings death, produces famine, and forces Palestinians out of their land.